Hey guys, real quick before the video starts, there's breaking news in the Nogizaka section, so be sure to check it out and find out what just happened. In fact, I'm editing the video from yesterday, and this just happened and I had to include it, so enjoy the news of the week. Welcome once again to the AKB48 Group News of the Week. Now as always, this goes 48, graduated, and 46. You can always check the top right of the screen to see which section you're on. And those of you from AKB48 Daily, thank you all for coming, and make sure to watch Thursday's video that I did about other 48 channels out there on YouTube. So be sure to check out that video if you want to see more info about that. But without further ado, let's start with the 48 news. The first bit of AKB48 news is actually about the new album that just came out. I don't know if you guys remember, but it's called Thumbnail. It's their 8th album. You know, it came out January 25th. But anyway, about the album, it actually sold more than 500,000. More specifically, it sold 565,000 copies. And with this, it sold first on Oricon, but you know, on the album section, not on the single section, which AKB is usually on. Now, if you compare that to the last album, it actually sold a little bit better by a few hundred. Now, that means they're going consistent, but if we look at the album from before then, that actually sold like over 100,000 more. And I mean, looking back at the old album, it was actually kind of expensive. Actually, I made a video about this. You can go check in my channel or in the little eye about this, where I went to Anime Expo and I went to go look for AKB goods, and just watch the video. You'll be able to see my findings. Oh, and also something about the album. I actually checked out Morning Musume / Sashi's song, and in the beginning, I wasn't getting into it. But then when that harmonizing moment came in, I was like, oh, okay, this is pretty good. But then the rest of it's kind of bland. And then you get into the part that sounds like a Morning Musume song, then it gets kind of better again. So I like that it had a little bit of a mix of the styles in it. And it wasn't too like consistent, like trying to be more AKB or more Morning Musume. But that harmonizing part is something that really stuck out to me. I actually quite enjoyed that part. Next up, we have news about Kojima Haruna. Now, as we all know, she's going to graduate soon. And actually, something that she's going to do once she graduates is open up a little pop-up shop. Now, I'm not too sure what pop-up shop means. I don't know if it's like a little shop inside another shop or something. But the point is that they're going to be all over Japan with the name 22 Market. Now, as we know, 22 because of Nyan, kind of like with her name. But they're going to be in Tokyo, Osaka, and Nagoya. But with this, she's going to be collaborating with other artists. And I read in the article there's going to be toys there. I don't know if they might sell apparel, maybe posters or decoration there, since she's collaborating with different artists. But I do suspect that it will be interesting. The dates that are open are actually going to be February 6th to around the 28th. You know, it's different days for different locations. So be sure to check down in the link below to see when it is if you are in Japan and want to check it out. But if you aren't in Japan and you want to pay extra for shipping, then you can actually go to the online store. The online store will open February 2nd, and you can check the link down below for the link to that. And next up is about a new app that's coming out for AKB48. Now, this is interesting because it's not your stereotypical, like, you know, Nogikoi or like your rhythm game or anything like that. It's going to be a little different. And the reason why it's different is because it has to do with stocks. And no, not real stocks, like you're not going to go invest in Apple or anything. It actually... Well, I'm actually not sure how it works. There's like suggestion going around, and since I can't read Japanese, I can't really get the feeling for what it's for. My guess is that you're gonna like put stocks into a girl, and as she gets more popular, you might get more money, or maybe in-game popularity, or I don't know if it affects with the real world. But I imagine it has to do something with that, unless, you know, each girl represents a different stock, and then you're just going for that stock. But I imagine this might be interesting for people who are into that sort of gameplay. Maybe the members, you put stocks and you get in-game coins or something like that. I'm not 100% again. But with this game, I imagine people are going to go for the more Senbatsu members. And also, I imagine they're going to go for the lucky girls. I mean, they are the lucky girls, so they might bring them some luck in the game. Now, next up, I want to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that's photobooks. Now, first up, we have Kato Rena's photobook. Now, this isn't a photobook about her, but it's a photo book that she chose. The thing with this, as far as I know, is that she actually selected 16 members to be in the photo book, and this isn't the Renachi Sosenkyo that she did since 2015. I think this is a different thing just for the photo book. I don't think this is her selection of favorite members. Although I guess it would kind of be, right? I mean, she would have to choose her favorite members to be in the photo book. And also, I think I'm not clear. I don't think she actually took the pictures. I'm pretty sure she just chose the members and now it's her photo book because it was her selection. I guess it's like her group. So it's kind of like her group's photo book, which means it's her photo book. But looking at the cover, it does not look too bad. It's a little muted and the poses are a little boring. But because muted plus boring poses kind of makes sense, it's okay for this. Although some of the poses are a little bit too boring for it. I mean, literally standing there with your arms to your side is not a good pose. And another photo book I want to talk about is about Iriyama Anna. Now, this is a girl that should have had a photo book a while ago. I mean, even looking at her, you're like, oh man, I'm going to go look for that photo book, only to find out there is no photo book. Gladly for all of us fans, she's going to get her first photo book. And the date for that will be March 22nd. Now, I'm thinking about getting this. I probably need to see a couple more photos in order to be 100%. But knowing her, I imagine it's going to be good. So right now, it's in the 85 percentile that I will get it. But even looking at the preview images that did come out, it does seem promising. Oh, and by the way, the title to that is Utsukushi Tsumi. So be sure to check that out when more information comes out. I'll probably update you guys with more info later. But that'll do it for AKB news. Let's move on to the graduated news. The first person we have to talk about is a former SKE48 member, Matsui Rena, once again, just like a week before and the week before that. And this is that she will actually be a leading actress. Yes, once again, she's a leading actress, but this time in a drama, and not any old drama. This will actually be a drama about Oda Nobunaga, which means this will be a historical drama. Now, I'm not 100% familiar with the story of him, but I know that it's super famous. It's been in different mangas, anime, dramas, movies, so many different adaptations. So with this, I'm not 100% sure what her role will be as a main actress. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a spin turning into a girl or if there's another girl character in the story. Again, I'm not 100% sure with this story. But something I do know is that this comes out March 25th. So if you want to check it out and see how she is as a leading actress in this historical drama, be sure to check it out. I'm sure you want to watch if you're a fan. I mean, she's done different historical dramas before, so I feel like this is a good fit for her. And next up is about Fukagawa Mai. Now, Fukagawa Mai is someone who recently graduated from Nogizaka46. I was a little bit late to the train to become a fan of hers, but I feel like if I got in the fandom a little earlier, I definitely would have been a fan of hers. Now, this stage play's name is actually Skip. And the interesting about this is it's actually about a student who falls asleep and then wakes up to be a teacher 25 years later. Now, all I know about this is that she's a leading actress, so I'm not too sure which role she's going to play. I imagine she's going to be the younger one. So if you are in Japan, April 24th to May 5th, be sure to check it out. It's actually in Tokyo at the Sunshine Theater. And that does it for graduated news. Let's move on to the 46. And there will be a rumor in this section, so be prepared for that. First up is that Ito Marika is actually going to be in another movie. Now, she's been in a movie before, and this time she's in another movie as a supporting actress. This will be for the movie adaptation of a manga called Kizudarake no Akuma. And this movie is basically about what happens when the bully gets bullied and the one who was bullied becomes the bully. Anyway, she is the main friend of the protagonist, so I'm sure this will be an interesting movie, and be sure to keep your eyes out for that. This will come out February 4th, so it's fairly soon, and hopefully someone subs this. It seems like an interesting story. And actually, there's a trailer down in the link below if you want to check it out. The next news is about Nogizaka under construction and how soon they will announce the 17th Senbatsu members and the censor member. Again, that's on January 29th, and I have a couple guesses of who it will be and my hopes for it. Number one hope is that a third gen member gets in the Senbatsu. I don't know if it will be center, but it would be interesting to see one of the third gens be in center. Second hope is that Mai, Erika, Misa, or Reika become the center. Now this is a little bit hopeful. I feel like Erika and Mai are actually the closer ones to get this, but I'm not tossing the other ones aside. I think it'll be really interesting to see those two as a new center. Hopefully they don't wait until they announce graduation for this to happen. We don't want another Nanami or Mai situation. I feel like with this, it could be really anyone, and I feel like everyone will be happy. There's no one really who doesn't deserve it right now. I feel like maybe if it's Asuka again, people will be like, oh, okay, it's a little too soon for that. So I feel like it's anyone's ball game right now. But I do feel like it will be interesting to see what happens, especially now that third members, I imagine, are going to start being introduced in Under Construction, which I'm super excited for. Now, next up is about the rumor. So remember, take this with a grain of salt. Not 100% sure if it's even right or the basis around it. What started this rumor is, I imagine someone asked, I don't know whether it's a management person or something like that, but they asked whether there will be a new photobook and who it will be. And he said there's nothing planned. And then he said, oh wait, I'm sorry, never mind. It's actually Kitano. So Kitano Hinako might get a photobook. Again, it's a rumor. It's not confirmed by the official Nogizaka46 management, Twitter, or anything announcement team. But this could be hope for it actually to happen. And it's actually rumored to be in June. So it'll be really interesting to see if she gets a photobook or not. I don't know, probably by the time this video goes up, it might be confirmed or denied. That would be a high possibility because she's one of my favorite second gen members of me getting it. I also feel like there are other members who deserve a photobook, like Misa and Reika. I feel like they're really members who should get a photobook and should have gotten one by now. Guys, breaking news in Nogizaka news. Now, I'm editing this video and I was looking on Twitter, and since it's the day after I recorded, I found out some very important news that makes the other news look like chump change. Now, I haven't written a script or anything because I just woke up and I saw all this news on my Twitter feed and on the different news sites. So I decided to cover this just right ahead and then finish editing and then upload it. There's three things that happened. There's photobook news, there's absence news, and there's a scandal rumor. So I'll go in that order: photobook, absence, and scandal. And the first bit of news is that Okimoto Manatu is actually getting her own photobook. Now, I'm not too sure how to feel about this. Again, there's other people who deserve it, I think a little bit more than Manatu, although her teddy bear photo that was on that magazine was pretty good. And although I think Manatu does deserve a photobook, I don't think she takes priority over other members. Although thinking about it now, I am kind of glad she did get one. I mean, eventually she would have to get one, right? But for those of you curious about this comes out February 28th. I honestly don't know what to expect. Like, just a little preview picture has been shown, so nothing too much. I mean, it's kind of soon for a photobook to be revealed this fast and the release date to be this quick. But I'm curious to see what it will come out like. So this is like a maybe for me. Next up is about the absence. Now, the absence will be during the 17th single, and it will actually be Himetan. Himetan will be absent for the 17th single, she says, due to poor health reasons. Now, I'm not too sure what it could be. I mean, to be away for a whole single, kind of like what Ikota did for school, she's doing for the health absence. And it's not just Nogizaka events, this will be personal events as well. So for this single, she's going to be like AWOL on everything. You can go over to the Nogizaka46 site to see more information about this. That is, if you can read Japanese. And next up, the big news. This is probably going to be the thumbnail. I had a different thumbnail for before, but now it's probably going to change to this. And if it doesn't, then I meant for it to be this. And that is that a new Nogizaka46 member has been involved in a scandal. Well, rumored to be involved in a scandal. There was a scandal magazine that came out. It's called Shunkan Bushun, and they released something about a Nogizaka46 member. And that's that Kawamura Mahiro, or Roti, was actually dating a guy. Now, this isn't 100% confirmed yet. This is a rumor right now. And it started off with someone drawing, like, this is the person that I saw, and it kind of looked like Reika, so everyone wasn't sure. But then later a photo came out, it kind of looked like Roti, so then people weren't sure which one. And then later more pictures came out, and then people saw that it was indeed Roti. And people aren't too sure if this is real because they don't know if it's a person who looks like her. They're not sure if it's dating or if it's just a friend. There's so many different obstacles here that people aren't 100% sure. I mean, even in the photos, they aren't holding hands or anything. They're not pulling a full Sayoringo on here. But what we do know is that they were accused by this Scandal magazine. So no one really knows what to expect. I mean, for all we know, this could just be a friend that she's hanging out with. Oh, heaven forbid an idol have a guy friend, right? But we will have to wait for more details on that. I just wanted to include that in and just go over it a little bit. Let's go off to the finisher I did yesterday. But yes, that will do it for the AKB48 group news of the week. This week, be sure to check out last week's video to see what it was about. And you can always subscribe to keep up to date with these news videos, as well as check out the playlist over there in order to see what other kind of variety videos I do, and you can subscribe to keep up to date with those as well. You can leave down in the comments below suggestions for that and for news and for any corrections that you have in the news that I did this week. Thank you all for watching. People from AKB48 Daily and my old subscribers, thank you so much.